Okay, I have 3 solutions for you today. First, I will introduce our Create It Course Builder app. Then, I will show you how you can use an iPad to present in your conference rooms. And finally, I will introduce you to WebSonar libraries, where you can access all of your accumulated resources in one convenient location. Let's get started. Create It launches with a blank canvas overlaid with 4 icons: text, paint, cast, and navigate. The navigation icon opens the main menu drawer. Here you can always access the help file for reference. Touch and hold to exit. The new icon opens Create It's background scene options. The text icon opens the font drawer. Here you can add any typeface to your inventory. Selecting a font from the drawer loads the text icon. Now you just drag it to the canvas to enter your text. You can pinch to reduce the text size and touch and hold to edit the column width. You can double tap to delete. The paint icon opens a drawer where you can choose from one of 4 brush sizes and many colors. If I tap the brush icon, it will change to an eraser. Tap it again to continue painting. I can paint on the foreground or the background. And you'll see I actually have 3 layers on my canvas. I can double tap the eraser in the paint drawer to erase all the paint. Can also set the transparency The cast icon opens the Create It treasure chest. This is where the magic happens. Let's cause a little chaos.
What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? What do you do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning.
I cruised inland until I found a suitable pasture. I landed there after cycling all the cows in the neighborhood and rolled up to the farmer's front door.
We now have hundreds of sample items available in our resource library that you can import. You can also use the item manager available in Create It Pro to make your own. Now I'm going to use Create It's cast function to graphically display the setup options I'm using for this presentation. I use an iPad and an iMac running either the Brave or Chrome browser. The iMac microphone picks up any audio playing on the iPad. Chrome is currently necessary if you want to provide closed captions. You enable them in the accessibility setting options. You can mirror the iPad presentation to a large screen TV with AirPlay. Connect your iPad to the Mac and launch QuickTime Player. Select New Movie Recording from the File menu, then select the iPad for the source device and adjust the sound output level. You can also record the iPad session directly on the Mac in QuickTime Player, but it is not required. Now, share your screen and choose the movie recording window as source. Okay, this is Create Pro running on an iPad in the room with the instructor's video camera displayed at the same time, all running on a Mac. Any audio that plays on the presentation will be relayed through the microphone. Very cool and very flexible. This means that you can now present with any application loaded on your iPad. I've saved the best for last. Now we will introduce you to Web Sonar libraries, where you can access all of your accumulated resources in one convenient location. Okay, first we will have a quick look at my personal library, and then I'll show you how to acquire, set up, and upload your files to a new library. This is my home page. Tapping my avatar finds all my documents sorted by date, starting with the most recent. I now have 826 items available: music, photos, videos, and PDF documents. I can search the document titles or content, and I can bookmark and retrieve any page with notes. This is one of my favorites.
Our familiar black, 5 times the champion, Mabel the rising star, winner last year. You can see how excited they are, but also feel the tension.
Get on with it.
And here it's in the crowd as we near the start of this final. And now they go, Olive away first, but a problem with Mabel's ball. That might cost her now, having to play catch up. Both settling quickly into rhythm. You can see the contrast in styles. Mabel heavy tail use, happy to be alive. Everything's amazing. Olive more steady, wasting little energy. Very much of the old Labrador school. Eating's a serious business. Don't bollocks around wagging your tail. And Mabel seems just a little sluggish here. Perhaps more was taken out of her by the worm medicine she was given last night than we thought. But Olive, focused, relentless, tasting absolutely nothing. Mabel trying, but surely a lost cause. Her title defence coming to an end. Olive taking everything, nothing left but the bowl to lick now. And Mabel, well, doesn't seem too upset. A bit of class there from the youngster, generous in what will surely be defeat, because Olive has won now. She's taken the title back at 7.5. Mabel looking to offer congratulations again to the dog who was her inspiration growing up. Once more wonderful to see that spirit in the game. What a final we've had here. Great rivals, but great friends. Oh, and you see the swapping of bowls at the end. Join us again tomorrow. Live coverage of a snooze on the sofa, possibly. Bye for now. So into the final minute and Olive in possession, but this is where Mabel is strong, chasing the game, using that intensity. We saw it in the semi-final, staring at a slightly torn cloth rabbit for over 7.5 minutes. And perhaps a few signs of overconfidence from her rival, a bit of showboating. Needs to be careful. And there's the change from the classic hold, still placed on the outside though, great technique. And a glance at the youngster who shows little emotion, but her mind will be empty. 20 seconds to go now. Olive closing in on victory and that coveted prize of being told she's a very good dog. One paw to control and a switch. Now Mabel sensing this might be a chance, still waiting, still believing. And you wonder what Olive is doing here, only has to hold on, going to the upright though, high tariff with no opposable thumbs, high risk at this stage. And it's gone and Mabel takes it. No mercy from the younger dog, who takes this victory just as time runs out. A famous win built on patience and sheer belief. For Olive, only thoughts of what might have been, but only herself to blame. She's given this one away, and that will hurt most of all.
A bit much, but I have 5 dogs myself, and I never tire of watching that video. All right, let's put it all together. I want to review Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace. So we will start by uploading the novel to a new library. We'll select a new vacant library. Tap the library title name to go to the admin settings. Then tap the Personalize My Library to upload a new name, and a new avatar. Okay, that looks good. So now we're ready to download the actual file. So we'll go back to our upload screen and choose the PDF document. Now we index the library. And return to the home page to search the document. We can load the PDF. You can see it has almost 3,000 pages. It's kind of a dark tome. Let's see if we can find some joy. Okay, what do we got? 93 occurrences. Better than I thought. Now we'll try using the associated subjects to focus our search. We can select from the list, and WebSonar will automatically do a Boolean search for us. Okay, so we have 6 occurrences. Okay, I think I want to use this one, so what we'll do now is bookmark this page. Later we can come back and add some instructions for our students. And we'll display the page image. Save that back to our library. Okay, now we will go back to the Created app to test a slide made using this resource. Excellent. In part 1 of this presentation, I used created items to tell the story dynamically. In part 2, I will be simply stepping through a slide deck acquired from our presentation library. Our free Created app can import slide decks made with Created Pro. Each slide can contain an image, an audio track, and an external URL link. Let's get started. You are now viewing slide 1 of this presentation. Tap once to pause the audio. Tap again to load the slide as a background scene. Double tap the navigation icon to hide the controls and resume the presentation. Go ahead, give it a try. I'll wait. You know, when I attended school from 1953 to 65, our teachers would stand at the head of the class and talk to us about the new information they had added to the chalkboard. Now, some curious students would ask questions, but most were too shy. After the introduction, we were referred to our textbooks to study this new information and instructed to be ready to move on to the next installment the following day. This worked for some students and was easy to measure, and it's not much different today. Swipe left to view the next slide. Now, imagine the world's best educators having the opportunity to offer their expertise, guidance, and accumulated wisdom to any student with no location or time constraints. Each day's lesson would be available on a series of slides that include an image, an audio track, and a link to a library of resources that can be continuously updated with current information. This slide links to my personal library. Touch and hold to visit. Swipe left to view the next slide. The following 5 slides graphically display the procedure to install this deck. You are now viewing slide 1 of part 3 of our Creative Introduction tutorial. This presentation will teach you how to publish your lessons to our online library so your students can download and process them at their own pace without location or time constraints. I have also added a bell tone to alert you to proceed to the next slide. This tutorial will explain the procedure to export your slide decks from an iPad. We are also shipping a Mac OS version of Create Pro that provides an even more elegant solution. Open the slide deck drawer by double-tapping the navigation icon to get started. Now, touch and hold the appropriate Slide Deck Name tab of the deck that you want to publish. Enter a unique deck name and tap Export. You can repeat this process for each deck that you want to share. Your exported files are saved in the iPad's Document folder. You view these files by connecting your iPad to a Macintosh computer. If you are using the Mac version of Create Pro, you will skip this step, as your files will be saved directly on the Mac. Each slide deck's file archive is sequentially named Exported Slides Number.zip. The Slide Assets file contains the deck names. You can simply copy these files to another iPad for direct sharing. We are going to show you how to upload them to an online library for large-scale distribution. In this example, we are copying the files to a folder named Create Pro inside our Documents folder. This folder is automatically created by the app when you export slides or items with the Mac version. Copy the zip files to the Mac and then delete all the files from your iPad's Create Pro document folder. We will now be working on the Mac for the balance of this tutorial. First, we are going to rename the zip archives so they do not conflict with current or future uploaded lessons. Now we will expand the archives to give us access to the source files. We will use the first slide image to provide the download link displayed in the presentation library. NeoNet provides community-shared libraries to host both cast items and slide deck presentations. You can contact us for access to upload your files to these libraries, or you can provide your own in-house. You can also acquire a library from one of our hosted servers available at mylibraries.online. Link to your preferred WebSonar server to choose an available library. Follow the listed procedures to set up your library and then return to the File Upload Manager to continue. We provide 4 options to upload files to your library. You will use the 4th option to add your slide presentation installers to this library. You can select the first slide from the expanded file folder to use for the image file. Next, select the zip file, and finally, enter a title for your lesson presentation. Now tap Submit, and when the upload has completed, index the library. When indexing is complete, tap Back to Browse to return to your new library's home page. Now you can browse the library to view and test your lesson presentation download link. All the created apps default to the community libraries, so you will require your students to edit their current slide deck library URL to link to this home page. You can support students that don't have access to a Mac or an iPad by repurposing your expanded files to the web. You would use the first option in WebSonar's Library File Upload Manager to provide each of your slides as an interactive web page. We will soon publish a new presentation outlining this process. You can touch and hold this slide to view a sample library. Now for an accolade from a Jedi that I'm sure many of you can relate to.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
So true. This guy definitely marked one of those dots for me in 1985. Completely changed my life. Okay, I think that's a wrap. You can contact me by email or FaceTime with cowboy@wisdomquest.com.